Hello everybody and welcome back to Fight a Subscriber. Yes, after a successful test run a little while ago now, we are back for some more. The premise is quite simple. I'm going to fight a subscriber. No, I'm not turning up at their place of residence with a crowbar, no. They've sent me a craft and I'm going to get it to run the gauntlet against my own fighters. And today's craft is the A1 Liberator Mark III-R by Juna Moose. And what a gorgeous looking craft this is. I do like a sleek, unconventional craft, and this is well, first of all, it's a drone, but also I think you'd describe it as a swept box biplane. And yeah, it's a good looking craft, all right, but we don't just want to know how it looks, we also want to know how it flies. So I've taken it up on a few test flights, and being a 3-engine craft, my god, it is fast, and all that wing area also means it's quite manoeuvrable. It twists and turns without any problem at all. I also tried to fly it under the bridge, but without much luck. It's just naturally a fast craft. I couldn't really get it going slow enough by the time I was approaching the bridge to actually make it through successfully. But that being said, we don't just want to know how it flies either, we want to know how it fights, so let's get going. And here we are, ready for the first fight. So to begin with, I'll be putting 3 of these Liberators up against 3 of my Cyclones, my more conventional Eurofighter-esque craft. So let's get them into the air. And these Liberators are off like a shot and are into the air in virtually no time at all. Yeah, these are pretty damn fast. Incidentally, when these craft came to me, they were equipped with the HEKV-1 missiles, the space missiles in BD Armory, now pretty much deprecated, but yeah, I did some testing with them and it turns out they are massively overpowered. Basically, if they miss you the first time, they'll come round, and if they don't hit the ground, they'll successfully track you, and it's a pretty much a guaranteed kill when they come back. So I thought those were a bit overpowered, so I've swapped them out for some AMRAAMs. So my apologies to Juna Moose for that, but you know, needs as needs must. Anyway, we are just about getting to the correct range, so any second now, there we go, and all craft turn to loose their first volley of missiles. Now, these Liberators are set up to launch 2 missiles per target, whereas my Cyclones have still got the default assignment of 1 missile per target, which I haven't changed. It'll be interesting to see how that affects things, if it affects it at all. But yeah, here come the missiles, 2 over there. Oh, that scorched one of the Liberators. I'm not sure if that will have done much damage, but here come the... Oh, that was close. I'm surprised that didn't do any damage. How are our Liberators? Everything seems to be intact here. Everything seems to be intact here. And getting nice and close in here, ready to begin the dogfighting, I'd imagine. Yep, more missiles flying in. Bit of missile heavy one. Oh, one of the Cyclones. I'm just going to see if that is causing... Oh, and one of the Cyclones is out already. First blood goes to the Liberators. Yeah, they were looking pretty good during some test dogfights, so no surprise there. But let's see if we can pick up some of the action here. Oh, and it's one of the Cyclones. See if he can go in for a revenge kill pretty quickly. Ludhat Kerman opts for a missile as he has fire incoming on himself. Let's see if we can find the craft in question. Nope, I cannot find the craft in question. What are you doing? Firing more missiles. Oh, trying to acquire the target, flies past him. From testing, I've sometimes wondered if these Liberators might be a little... That was a massive explosion. What was that? Is that debris? That is... Oh, and another one of the Cyclones has gone. And that's the last Cyclone. Hanging on in there desperately for dear life. Another missile goes in. Oh, that looks to have scorched one of the Liberators, but I think it's too little too late. And this one is looking like it is... Well, it's looking like it is a victory for the Liberators. What is that? That is possibly the remainder of this craft crashing into the ground. But here come the Liberators opening up. Are they still firing at... There is still a Cyclone in the air. I'm assuming it must have lost its weapon manager or something. But that is still distracting. Oh, and the Liberators comes flying past. Let's see if we can... find that. Yes, Little bit of debris distracting a couple of the Liberators for the moment. Whilst Eden Kerman tries desperately to make good his escape. But I think that crash. That's the last of this Cyclone's wingman, and now here come the missiles. He's still got some chaff left. Manages to avoid those. He's hanging on in there. He's putting on a good show, I'll give him that. But now here comes the gunfire, and without much manoeuvrability, surely it's just a matter of time. So this is a bit of pretty convincing victory for the Liberators. Again, flying past, as I was saying earlier. I think... Oh! What happened there? We have lost one of the Liberators. I have no idea what happened there. Anyway, I think I will call this for the Liberators at this point, and we will... Oh, one of them just crashed into the sea. Yeah, so despite the Liberators' apparent attempts to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, I will call this one for the Liberators here, and we'll move on to the next fight. So next up, the Liberators will be going up against my Clubtails, the latest in my Dragonfly family of craft. So let's get them straight up into the air. Now, what I was trying to say a couple of times during that last fight, but then something always happened, was that during doing some test fights with this craft, I think sometimes they can be a little too fast for their own good. They can just get going a little too much and then have difficulty sort of turning to sort of re-engage with a craft or reacquire a target. So it'd be interesting to see how that how this one pans out. The Clubtails are well, should be a stronger craft than the Cyclones. They managed to beat the Cyclones in all the test fights I did when I developed them. But yeah, certainly be an interesting fight. As I said, how are we doing? Everybody's getting up to altitude. Everybody's getting up to the correct distance. So any second now. There we go. So as per usual, the Liberators. This one taking its time a bit actually, but I'm sure they will turn and get away their first volley of missiles. There goes one. And you going to launch your second one? Yeah, there we go. So missiles coming in from both sides, chaff flying. Ooh, that's a miss. That might be a slight scorch there. But other than that, I think everybody looks okay. Ooh, was that a hit? No, I don't think that was. Ooh, I'm going to have to go check. You're fine, you're fine. Oh, that is one of the Clubtails out already. A disastrous start for them. Looks like Shergas lost his errant again. There goes another one. A missile, I presume, just shreds one of the Clubtails in mid-air. This could be over as soon as it started. We are down to our final Clubtail. Oh, brutal stuff from the Liberators. Missiles flying in, and now, of course, it's got the full armament of 3 of them to cope with. Let's loose a missile. Tamwin, let's loose a missile of her own. Hopefully that should distract one of the Liberators for now, but 3 of them, 2 of them on her tail at the moment. Another one sort of overshoots. Just what I was talking about earlier. Oh, wow, that was yeah, no longer distracted. Tamwin now has the full attention of 3 of these Liberators, but they've gone straight past her again, and were it not for that Liberator on her tail, I think, ooh, that Liberator might have been in trouble there. But no, with the attention of 3 of them, I don't think Tamwin's going to catch a break here, and this is going to be, yeah. Can she pull something off, though? Can she snatch victory from quite far into the jaws of defeat? That would certainly be an impressive achievement. She's acquired a target. Can she take this opportunity before those bullets come in and shred her? Oh, it's not looking good, is it? More fire comes in. I think She's lost a couple of parts. She's losing control surfaces. Yeah, she's down to the canards for her control surfaces. Oh, and there we go. And that comes in. That's the final shredding done. And Tamwin Kerbal will fall to the floor. Oh, insult to injury there. Tamwin Kerbal still trying to get a bit of revenge fire in, but I think that's Tamwin and indeed her wingman done for this fight. So a very convincing victory there for the Liberators. The Clubtails just could not cope with that. And the Liberators return to probably do a victory orbit of the KSC, and hopefully they don't all decide to commit suicide, pretty much like they did last time. Did any of them get any damage? This one's all fine, I think. All okay. All okay. No, not a scratch on them. Very convincing victory for the Liberators. And now I think it's time to see how they perform in their final challenge. So once again, the Liberators are all lined up and ready, and this time their challenger is my Panther, the latest of my craft to be developed, this kind of flying wing design, and they will be hoping to salvage some pride for my craft. Let's once again, let's get them straight up into the air. So a very good showing so far from these Liberators. I think they're kind of more in the role of an interceptor rather than an air superiority craft, but they certainly made very light work of those Clubtails. So the Panthers, kind of a similar vein. I think they're more sort of interceptory craft. Kind of got a lot of straight line speed. So be interesting to see how this one pans out. How are we doing? The Liberators with their 3 engines getting up to altitude in almost no time at all without any trouble, and there are my Panthers lagging behind somewhat as the other 2 craft have done as well. Any second now then. And once again, here we go then, the final fight. What will happen this time? Everybody turns. Missiles away already for the Panthers, and there go the Liberators with their 2 missiles each, and now it's time for everybody to break low and start popping chaff. So how does everybody do with the missile dodging this time? That seems to be a couple of Miss Amrams go well wide of the Panthers. What was that? Something exploded there. Everybody looks to be okay here. Yup, and more missiles flying in from those other Liberators. Oh my word, that was a bit close. Living on the edge there. More missiles flying in. One of the Liberators seems to be getting to within gun range. As yet more missile tennis ensues. Explosions everywhere. I'm hoping that wasn't actually one of the craft. Very missile-centric fight with these Liberators, sort of playing into, as I was saying, that more that idea of them as interceptors rather than traditional air superiority craft. How are we getting on? There's a gunfight going on over here. I think I had it right the first time. Yes, one of the Liberators has one of the Panthers in its sight, and the Panthers are in trouble already. Who's the Panther pilot who's trying to pull off the old switcheroo this time? Agagas Kerman. I'm sure that's how you pronounce it. This Panther, his opponent appears to have lost interest for the moment, and that gives Agagas the chance to Agagas? Agagas? I have no idea. But yeah, missiles going back and forth. No missile kills, it would appear, so far, which is, I suppose, a good thing. You are one of the... That's another Panther there. A lot of distance has opened up. 8.5 kilometers away, this Liberator. The Liberators do go for 2 missiles per target, which can be a good thing, but also means they use up their entire load of missiles fairly quickly. More missiles flying in from this Panther. This has just opened up ridiculously. Everybody's miles away from everyone. Missile just misses that Liberator. How are the Liberators looking? No damage. Oh! We have a Liberator, probably is scorched by a missile, missing a lot of it. Oh, that's one of the Panthers gone. I did not see that. One of the Panthers here with the opportunity to even things up pretty quickly, but has to break because of a missile. So not looking good for the last of my craft, my last hope to try and get some sort of kill. And there goes one of the Liberators onto the other remaining Panther. Can his wingman manage to shake him off? But he's got enough trouble on his own. Ooh, that's one of the Liberators gone. And that's another one of the Liberators gone. What the hell happened there? It looks like the missile actually got him. It looks like that that quick sidewinder from this Panther actually hit him. It's all turned on its head. It's now 2-1. That last remaining Liberator with 2 Panthers to shake off. Yeah, that was a turnabout in fortunes. I honestly thought for a second that the Liberators were going to get away with a clean sweep. This Liberator doesn't appear to have any damage so far, but those 2 Panthers there will be desperately hoping they can change that, and change that quickly. Trying to pull some manoeuvres, and now here is where we get to the problem I was talking about earlier, where the Liberator's a little too fast. By the time they've turned to reacquire you, they're already kind of past you. And just the chase is on from these Panthers to trying to finish what they've started. Gunfire comes in, but nothing doing so far. The Liberators are just so fast they can get some distance, pull some manoeuvres, get some more distance. Do either of my Panthers have any missiles left? Still some Sidewinders there. Still some Sidewinders there. Oh, here comes a missile. Oh, that was a close one. More gunfire rains in as this Liberator tries desperately to turn and reacquire a target, but already past the Panthers, and the Panthers are turning to reacquire themselves. Yeah, this is turning out to be a long one. It's almost like a game of attrition, almost like who's going to run out of fuel first. And unfortunately, with those 3 massive engines, I suspect it's going to be the Liberator. Nope, and this surely must be the Panthers. Oh, he's out of fuel, and just, I think, as one of the Panther hit his own wingman with one of his heat seekers. But without any energy, without any speed, the Liberator becomes a sitting duck for those Panthers. This has been a battle of attrition, but finally the Panthers have won out, as I said, restoring a modicum of pride for my craft, but again, they don't seem to be in much of a hurry to finish this Liberator off. Here comes the missile. There's the destruction. And there goes the probe core. And it is all over. The Panthers win the final fight. Oh, that was a long one. So the Panthers take the final battle, but today's episode has been well and truly won by the Liberators with 2 victories to 1. So once again, a massive thank you to Dunamoose for sending me those craft. They were certainly very impressive and certainly very fast. But that'll be all for today. If you have any craft you want to send me so that I can fight them, then I'll put a link to the email address and a brief summary of the rules in the description, and I look forward to receiving those. One final big thank you to Dunamoose, and thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.